What's up, guys? Welcome, Lauren Pritchard. Just a request video. How I met James Casbolt, and mostly why am I so willing to marry somebody that I haven't met in real life? I have actually met him in alien abduction scenarios, government torture scenarios. I came across his material in 2018. It was a good friend, Ada Fairhat. She said, for everything that you're researching, you should look into the material of James Casbolt, the super soldier. And as soon as I found his videos, I was like, I know this person. I've always known this person. I had this resonance. And I absorbed all his material and viewed all of his content, read his book in such a short amount of time. More than that, I remember everything he's ever said. Like it's like some encyclopedia in my head. So I began to it was at the time I was taking a hiatus from work, so I was just living off of savings and relying on donations from people. I was out of work. I was just researching and traveling ufology, the super soldier paradigm, promoting my own material, my own ideas. I was meeting all these people in the ufology community. So we do have a large community of supporting people. Now, I found very quickly going into these physical conferences that the name James Casbolt had a very divisive nature. Like people either loved him or hated him. And it was interesting to me because it kind of was a litmus test for like who can I trust and who should I avoid, or who should I, just kind of like keep like at arm's length. So that was 2018, 19, 20. I stopped going to conferences around June of 2019. I felt like I had done all of my work, all my material. And then I came into a relationship with somebody who was bloodline, who brought me into these darker depths of the human experience. He was working for all these child traffickers and all these occultists, these people that were relying on the magic that he somehow supplied them to like allow them to do all of their dirty deeds. This is where I never considered myself a super soldier until I was boots on the ground. I'm only ever been a super soldier in real life. I went after all the child traffickers in Austin, Texas. This is why you will not find at least our bloodline being trafficked in this area. You're not going to find our bloodline being bred like cattle in this area. It was because of me and what I was doing. And a lot of people try to jump on the coattails in these higher echelons of society saying that they were somehow doing it, but it was not them, it was me. And the satanic cults, these black Satanists in Austin, Texas, would not allow me to work anywhere. They drove me to poverty, isolation. I couldn't get a job anywhere. They gang stalked me everywhere I went. They sent the FBI, the police, mental health officials, constantly bombarding and stalking me. And this was not the beginning because they were doing that in New Age. You bring up James Casbolt, you talk about James Casbolt, it like puts a dagger into your heart. People are after you. They don't want you talking about this person, but they also don't really want it to be obvious that the reason why they're so targeting you is because of him. So I never thought that I would meet him. I never thought that I would ever even come into communication with him. In fact, I spent many days and hours in church just crying because in the back row by myself trying to hide my tears, but I would sit in church just crying because I had no means of communicating with this person. And after he assimilated himself back into society, he started to reach out to me in the beginning of the year. But I had a boyfriend, I had a Muslim boyfriend at the time, and I was having a lot of trouble with him because he was handled by a lot of black Satanists. And I was coming upon this awareness simultaneously. I was getting aid, I was getting effort from a seemingly anonymous source, which turned out to be him. And then later on in the year, when we broke up, the tone changed. So we got more acclimated like in the physical in reality, and we just kind of like went from there. So at this point it's just like a full blown like normal relationship. We don't talk about super soldier stuff. We don't talk about I mean, a little bit because of the community, right? Because these are our people and this is our story, a little bit because of that, but mostly like just normal stuff. Like, we just want to be normal people now. Our original story is alien abduction and government torture, largely surrounding a scenario where these people don't want to see us together. They do not want to get us together. It's far too late for that. Far too late for that at this point. Um, it seems like there's this like matrix within a matrix, right? There's this like story within a story. And finally, the truth has revealed itself. Like, finally, the true story is now on the timeline. Like, now the true story is being lived, is being played out. Like, we just want to be ordinary people. Our freedom is just living an ordinary life, whatever that looks like. Maybe the world needs to transform to what ordinary life is like, because this world is so convoluted and such bullshit and steeped in such lies and lust and greed and wrath and death. It's like, maybe the story needs to change now. Maybe the world needs to become what we consider to be normal, and we will continue to facilitate what normal is. We're going to walk towards the path of what normalcy is, even if the world around us has to conform to what normal is. So, if anyone wanted to say 90 Day Fiance scenario, you've never met the person in real life, that's not true. I've met him. We've been in these programs. I've woken up in clones and he's there. I have experienced our original story is it's me escaping the program, and then I come back into this world, and then I'm sort of left without memory, without knowledge, without wisdom, but I'm super depressed. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't find love. Relationships are so flawed. They're so broken. Men are under such mind control that you can't seem to get anywhere in life. And you get to the end of that tunnel, and it's like, because everything was leading up to the reunion of the man and the woman that they originally never wanted to see come into reunion. And it's far too late for that at this point. That's why the world is as chaotic as it is. So that's our story. And I'm just going to move to Cornwall at this point. There's literally no point just like visiting and then having to come back. It's too costly. So there's no problem there. And, at the end of the visa or at some point, as soon as possible, we'll just get married to get citizenship of England. So we can just continue on with our lives as America crumbles, because there's no doubt America's going to crumble. I probably would rather not be here. So links below if you feel like donating. Everything is dependent on money. How weird is that? Like, the weirdest thing of all, it's like you can't just like do what you want to do. It's all God's will. So it's fine. You can't just do what you want to do because you need money. Like, that's been the weirdest thing to me in this scenario, is like I can't just like go there like cuz I need money. It's like God's will, of course, right? This thing can't go too fast, it can't go too slow. So it's justly, right? Judgment is divvied out very justly. A lot of people got to get themselves in order. The ufology community, people are kind of like scrambling to get themselves in order with like, where do you stand? Who do you support? Like, are you on board for this? Are you against this? And you can't be against this at this point. It's a surefire suicide note at this point. So, very interesting stuff. It's all very spiritual, it's very energetic, and I'll keep you posted. So, that's that. You're the right kind of people. Love y'all so much. Have a beautiful night, and I'll talk to you again really soon. Oh, by the way, we've got some CDs coming out, never before seen interviews of James Casbolt's early days. We have two interviews coming out. He just sent them to me. I'm going to post them. And then he's got a part 2 of Agent Buried Alive, his book. He's got a part 2 that we can get in order, and we can get that out for donation or whatever to send that out to people. So we do have some material to generate some, you know, some income that way, but like this is not we're not going to he doesn't want to continue to promote himself for free, right? Enough has been promoted, so we have some never before seen or heard interviews on CDs. I'm gonna post them, and those will probably be for free. But we do have he has a part two of Agent Buried Alive that he wrote when he was in jail, and we can put that together and make that become available for purchase. So look out for that. All right, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I'll talk to you again really soon.